A-Star Thorns, and my health behavior presentation is on using condoms in the African American community. My name is A-Star Thorns. My introduction of population. Black or African American is a person having origin of any black racial groups that are from Africa. As of 2022, 13.6% of the U.S. population is African American. The top percentage of African Americans reside in the District of Columbia, where there's 44.4%, Mississippi, where there's 37.8%, Georgia, where there's 33.2%, Louisiana, where there's 32.6%, and Maryland, where there's 31.6%. Alabama, where there's 26.6%, South Carolina, where there's 26%, Delaware, where there's 24.1%, North Carolina, where there's 22.1%, and Virginia, where there's 20%. Using condoms. If a person does not use condoms, they can open themselves up for STDs such as HIV. Condomless sexual intercourse could also result in getting pregnant. Here you will see a video on how to properly place a condom on. Using condoms. A study from 2011 through 2015 was completed, and it was determined that young, non-Hispanic black men are more likely to use condoms than a non-Hispanic white man. Although the use of the condom varied by age, marital status, and cohabiting, among them most were of the African American community. Another report showed that even low-income African and Hispanic women were more likely to use condoms than any other race. They represented 15 to 17%, while white women only 4%. Perceived susceptibility, a person's assessment on how likely they are to get an illness or encounter an undesirable outcome. Perceived severity, when what a person believes has an effect on their health. Perceived benefits, when a person believes in methods that have been suggested to reduce the seriousness or risk of disease or state of harm coming from a certain behavior. Perceived barriers, the belief of what it'll cost a person if they change their behavior. Cues to action, the push a person needs to take action. Self-efficacy, the confidence a person has to pursue a behavior. Health activities. Perceived successibility. I will create a mass email explaining the importance of wearing condoms and what could happen if not. Send the email out to individuals that may have recently visited the doctors in the community. Perceived severity. Offer free group meetings or counseling sessions to talk people through their thoughts on using condoms. Allow people that are in need to sign up for therapy to help change the way they think. Perceived benefits. I will create a flyer that gives out statistics from the area in which the person lives on how not using a condom has affected people. I will stand in front of the supermarkets and corner stores and pass them out to those that are willing to accept. Perceived barriers. I will get I will start a Facebook group so that people can discuss the cause or fear of change. This group would be 18 and up, and centered around the use of condoms in the African American community. Use to action. I will start an organization that gives away free condoms to those that ask or are in need. I will give these condoms out to those in the African American community, to those that are sexually active, that are in need, with the hope this will motivate them to use them. Self-efficacy. I will create a website that sends out encouraging text messages. This message will go out twice a week, and it will send uplifting messages to men and women in the African American community on how and why they should be having safe and protected sex. Addressing the health behavior. Depending on where you live, how much money you make, your social status, and as well as whether or not you have private or government assisting medical insurance, all these things play a major role on your health behavior. For instance, if you have a well-paying job, you may have good insurance. You may have a good insurance plan paid for partially or fully by your employer. And with that, your health benefits are better versus having a government-funded medical insurance plan when appointments are hard to get and wait times for doctors are extremely long. When you are a part of a certain culture, you must live by their rules and customs. That being said, if there is something you need medically or health wise and that culture does not agree, then you are not to pursue it. For instance, there are some people in the Jehovah's Witness culture that believe it's against God's will to receive a blood transfusion. And because most of the time when one is required, it is of dire need, this will lead them into a narrow road and affect their health if they want to continue to follow what the culture rules are. What I would do to plan a culturally competent health education activity for using condoms in the African American community would be getting the education that is needed passed along to them so that they can stay informed on how and why to use condoms. In the African American community, there are times where the most up-to-date information does not get to them until it's old news. But by keeping them informed with the latest news, they won't be left behind and can make better and smarter decisions when it comes to their sex life. In order to get the people the information, I would pass out newsletters. Perhaps not in hand, but more so by leaving it at their homes and on their cars. This way, they can get it when they open their home and car doors. This has been my presentation. I appreciate you for following along, reading with me. Hopefully, something was said that will assist you in passing on the message of how important it is for the African American community to use condoms. Thank you.